What's good, people? It's Spud here, and welcome to episode 71 of the Roundup. In today's episode, LA Thieves win -1 with a 4-2 win in the finals against Miami Heretics. A good showing from both teams to get that far. Obviously, just the minor tournament, a little bit of money for the Thieves, some CDL points for them and Heretics, and I think Optic and FaZe also get a couple of CDL points, but obviously that's not really going to mean that much to these teams. It was about trying to get the money. Little in-season tournament, but this one was won by Thieves. I don't know why it took me so long to think about that there. Also in this episode, we will be just obviously looking at the games, looking at the stats, and then also doing our predictions for next week. We'll also have our MVP and Rookie of the Year ladder, but let me just say there's no changes. Spoiler. There won't be an episode next week. I won't be able to make one. So episode 72 will be in 2 weeks' time, where it will be two lots of CDL matches. But we'll do our predictions for this week's matches anyway. There just won't be any predictions for next week. If you are new, please subscribe to the channel, it is appreciated, and like the video if you enjoy. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So we started obviously with the teams that were in round one. Obviously it's single LM. Falcons versus Surge. Surge took the hard point, but after that Falcons were very dominant, and it was a 3-1 win here for Falcons. Everyone in the green on the Falcon side. On the other side, a rough one from TJ Halley. Not the best from Gwyn and Nero. Lunas with a 1.09, but yeah. Surge's struggles do continue. Obviously, they had a good weekend last time with 20 CDL points, but obviously they would like to be winning more games, of course. But they were unable to do so here. Just going to move that up a little bit. There we go. I just think it looked a bit low down, so yeah, but Falcons obviously go to the next round where I can't even remember if they played Optic or who they played, honestly. Obviously I'm recording this on Friday, I've been busy, so I'm a bit out of it in terms of scheduling. It's going to be out at 6 o'clock today. It's a beautiful day as well. Then we had Miami versus Breach, and this was a very simple, except the Overload was a bit close, but 3-0 win here for Miami Heretics. Everyone in the green for Miami. On the other side, Afro in the green, everyone else with 0.7s. Breach are going to have a long, long season. I do not think they will make champs. A rough one for Boston this year. Especially, you know, they got top 3 at champs last year, which was kind of a massive shock, but it's not going to happen this time around. We obviously, like I did say though, we will still talk about Rookie of the Year, ladder and MVP ladder, because there are some people that are close to potentially moving up and down, but yeah, the less said about this the better. Nezra at 1.21. Everyone green on the other side. I mean, Mamba obviously got MVP because obviously he did get 58 kills, and Ezreal's damage was very low, but he did get a 1.29. If we just look at map 1 though, like, this is worrying. Cloud9 and Boston won't make champs. I don't think Surge will make champs, and then maybe Royal Ravens. I don't know. Anyway, we have Koi versus Ravens as well, because this match was again one to get into the next round, because the top 4 from the top 4 seeds obviously got a bye. Koi win this one 3-0, but obviously we don't have any highlights for you, but this Scar hardpoint was very, very crazy. But Koi clutch up. Joe Deceives here, the only play gone positive actually for Koi in a 3-0 win. The result's the most important thing though. And Koi move on to play Optic in round 2. So obviously another 4 games on Saturday. So we start with Gentlemates versus Miami. Now I can't remember if or not if I predicted Miami to win this. Part of me thinks I did, but I can't be for sure on that one. But Miami do win here, 3-1. Everyone in the green for Miami. Super was very good this weekend. They obviously, with the minor tournaments, though, I would not move MVP up or Rookie of the Year too much because obviously it's an online tournament and it's not like one that people are going to be like, oh my God, we've got to work so hard for it. It's one where like teams are obviously wanting to win, get a little bit of cash, but it's not the end of the world. FaZe versus Falcons, 3-1 win here for FaZe. Falcons took the overload, but apart from that, it was pretty dominant. Everyone green on that side, everyone in the 0.8s on the other side. Simp with a 1.21, though, very nice showing there from the Pimp. And as always, another good showing from Simp, incredible player. We say this all the time. Every year, he doesn't stop being incredible at the game, which is really impressive, to be honest. And then we have Optic versus Koi. And this is a 3-1 win here for Optic. The Overlord was very worrying, to be honest with you. Maybe not in the kill department, but Optic just couldn't get the ball into the hole, which out of context sounds really bad. My bad. If we have a look at the stats here, Hugh actually with a 0.9, not the best showing from him. Mercules though with a 1.34, very good showing from him. Insight a bit of a rough one, same with CleanX. But I mean that map for shot 2 gets 2.4, 2.15 from Mercules, and 0.42 from CleanX. Oh dear. So Optic move on to semi-finals. The last game on the Saturday was LA Thieves versus G2 Minnesota, which I expected to be a pretty comfortable win here for the Thieves. And yeah, a 6-0 to finish it in the Overlord. Couldn't get more comfortable. Scrap and the Wim and a Beezy there with the 1.2s. Hydra just close to it. Mamba had a couple of positive series. To his credit, he's obviously been negative for a lot of series. Skies though with a rough one, he was in my most improved for a while. I said this last week. Has dropped off a bit. Not ideal, but like not much you can do really. G2 aren't exactly a contender, so. So then we had FaZe versus Miami for a place in the final, and I was not expecting a 3-0 win to Miami. I don't think anyone was really expecting this. If we have a look here, Rencor with the 1.16, 10,500 damage. Draza and Abuza, bit of a rough one on the ARs. Simp, surprisingly negative. All 4 goes positive. But I don't think many. Let's have a look at the predicted winner here. Yeah, 84 on FaZe, 16 on Miami. If we have a look here at the maps, I mean, yeah, the ARs just weren't firing for FaZe in map 1. Rencor went big in that map 3, 42 and 34. And in the S&D, Super was super. Like, all 4, we know he's good at the S&D, but him and Simp just couldn't get firing. And Miami make it to the final. Obviously, it would be nice for Miami, because last year the minor tournaments were won by FaZe and Thieves. I believe it was FaZe and Thieves that won the minor tournaments last year, so it would have been nice to see like a Miami win it, but obviously Thieves do beat them. Then we have Optic versus Thieves. And Optic managed to get it to a game 5 after being 2-0 down, but just weren't able to get the job done here. And it's a 3-2 win here for Thieves. They win it on the fringe S&D. If we look at the stats, obviously Abizi the only player to go positive. Sorry, Abizi, only player to go positive. On this side, Hugh the only player to go negative. Not the best 2 series from the nuke, but at the end of the world, Dashi there with actually the highest damage in the lobby and the highest amount of kills. So a good choose from Dashi, but obviously Optic will be disappointed not to get to the final here. They do get a couple of CDL points, but that's not really what they're wanting. Um, so it'd be a Thieves versus Heretics final. Obviously, we know Thieves won. Let's have a look here at the stats and the maps. So it was actually a 2-1 lead to Miami, uh, but Thieves managed to bring it back. Obviously, the first map not really that close. Then a decent S&D, a 6-7 in the Overlord. And then after that, it was dominant from LA Thieves. If you have a look here at the stats, Scrap Finals MVP all day long, 142 frags, 1.35 KD, most damage in the lobby. That's an incredible return. But was he the Thieves' best player up to that point? No. If it was based off the entire minor tournament, I would actually be giving a Beezy my MVP. But it's not off that. Trex, on the other hand, had a good series. Now he's someone I want to talk about with that Rookie of the Year thing. Obviously, when we get to it, but yeah, well done to Thieves. Obviously, good effort from Heretics. You know, I don't think they've had the best season. Obviously, Real's back on the bench. After his failed stint at Koi. Obviously, I'm hoping that he gets another chance on the Heretics because he's one of my favourite players outside of Optic. You know, I actually wanted him at Optic if Optic had a really bad champs, an EWC last year. I would have probably wanted Real on the team, which is kind of crazy that then he went on Koi and got benched. But yeah, things has happened, don't they? So yeah, well done to them. Um, so now we're going to talk about the ladders. So we're going to start with MVP. Obviously, I've not changed anyone, but Scrap. Scrap is going to be very close now. You know, if he has a good weekend, yeah, mainly Scrap. Obviously, if Scrap has a good weekend, he can find himself crawling up quite fast. Could potentially take a boozer spot. It's hard though because obviously, like I said, I don't want to base it off the minor tournament, but it will have a bit more of an impact than a regular online weekend match. But we're obviously 14 weeks now into the season, like 14 weeks of gameplay. Sorry, because there's obviously been weeks off. I haven't included those. I do think that it's between Mercules and Simp now. Unless obviously someone gets a double MVP and wins Major 3 and 4. Let's say Scrap wins Major 3, Major 4 gets MVP and both and plays absolutely phenomenal COD, then of course Scrap would go to number 1. But I don't know if that'll happen. But Rookie of the Year is the one that I do want to talk about. Normally we do MVP second and Rookie. We normally start with the Rookie of the Year, but obviously Rookie of the Year, I've kept it as it is. Nwim obviously had a decent tournament there. It is between Kips and Nwim for me for number 1 and 2. Number 3 though, there is a battle obviously now. Trex is very unlucky not to be there. Watch out for him. Mamba's still in the mix. For me, it's a three-way battle for that third spot between Lurks, Trex, and Mamba. I wouldn't even rule out Trex potentially pushing the top 2 if Miami can go on a run at Major 3 or Major 4. Um, but obviously, we'll have to just see. And I've just realised something. I've made not a massive mistake, but I've basically done the scheduling wrong a little bit here, like how the roundup always works and how many do the predictions and then the rookie of the. I forgot to do the predictions basically. I'm gonna do them now instead. But yeah, so rookie of the year stays as it is for now. Well, no, actually, no, it's not. That's not true. Trex has gone up to 4th ahead of Mamba, but apart from that, it's the same. And I haven't done the rookie of the year one yet. Sorry, most improved. Obviously, I was going to make a most improved potential little most improved ladder, but just with like 5 people on. We'll still look into that. So predictions, my bad. Optic Boston 3 Optic. Thieves versus Cloud9 3 Thieves. FaZe versus Ravens 3-1 FaZe. So we will see at least one map 4, I hope, on the Friday. Saturday is Cloud9 versus Carolina. 3-1 Carolina. I think Carolina do take the win here. Miami versus FaZe. Obviously, we've just seen FaZe get 3-0'd by them at -1. I'm gonna go with a 3-2 Miami, actually. I'm gonna go Miami to beat them again, but this time at game 5. Surge versus Falcons. Surge are obviously 2-0. Falcons are 0-2, but Falcons beat them in the minor tournament, and I'm gonna go with Falcons to beat them again. I'll go 3-1, just like it was on Friday. The last game on the Saturday is Koi versus Optic. Again, played each other at -1. I'm gonna go Optic to win this one 3-1. And then our 3 matches on Sunday: Surge versus Thieves, which I'm gonna go 3-1 to Thieves. Miami versus G2, which I'm gonna go 3-1 to Miami. And Gentlemates versus Boston, which I'm gonna go 3-1 to Gentlemates. So I'm not expecting too many shocks, really. Obviously, I've gone for FaZe to lose to Miami, but but they just lost to them last weekend, so it's not like it's a massive shock. That's going to be the end of this episode of the Roundup. Bit of a short one. Congrats again to Thieves on that. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Obviously, it'll be out at 6 o'clock. The matches will start in 2 hours basically. So if you are watching the CDL this weekend, enjoy. Thank you very much for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening, and bye for now. Thanks again.